I used to think I was doing everything right. I gave up red meat. I walked every morning. I swapped cookies for nuts. But at 68, my heart gave out on what seemed like an ordinary afternoon. Today, I'm 76. Still here. Still healthy. And I'm not speaking to you as a doctor, but as someone who paid with his health to learn the truth. If you're over 60, let me ask you something directly. Are you sure you're eating the right foods for your heart? Are you certain that those so-called healthy choices, like almonds, walnuts, cashews, nut butters, are helping you, not quietly harming your kidneys, raising your blood pressure, or blocking your medications? I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to make sure you don't walk the same painful path I once did. In this video, I'll show you 9 popular nuts every senior should be cautious with. Not because they're evil, but because after 60, your body doesn't process them the way it used to. And I'll also share the right kinds of heart-healthy nuts, along with exactly how, when, and how much to eat, in a way that supports your health and respects your medications. If you're over 60, or love someone who is, I invite you to stay with me until the end. What I'm about to share won't show up in food ads or nutrition flyers. But I believe it just might save your heart. If this sounds like something you need, drop a 1 in the comments or share this with someone you care about. Because next, I'll tell you about the nut I ate daily for 3 years, the one that nearly kept me from ever sharing this story with you today. You've probably heard it before, almonds are heart healthy. But what if I told you that after 60, raw almonds might be slowly straining your kidneys and quietly sabotaging your heart? Let me tell you about Mr. Paul, my old neighbor in Indiana. He was 71. Retired, active, walked every morning, and always had a Ziploc of almonds in his pocket. Better than cookies, he'd say. But Paul started noticing something strange. His ankles were swelling. He felt tired. His blood pressure, even on medication, was unstable. And he couldn't figure out why. Until one afternoon, he told me, "Doc, I snack on raw almonds every day. A couple of handfuls." That's when it clicked. Almonds, especially raw, are packed with oxalates, natural compounds that can overwhelm your kidneys, especially when you're older, or if you're on heart medication like blood thinners or ACE inhibitors. In your younger years, your kidneys flush these out. But after 60, things slow down. And when oxalates build up, they lead to inflammation, fluid retention, and worse, kidney stress that loops back into heart strain. Paul didn't know. Like so many others, he thought almonds equals safe. But within weeks of cutting them back, soaking them, and spacing his intake, his swelling reduced. His energy returned. That's the thing. Even foods labeled as heart-healthy can be dangerous, if not eaten the right way. So if you're over 60 and eating raw almonds daily, I want you to pause. Are you supporting your heart, or straining your kidneys? If this surprises you, comment 1 below. If you've ever felt fatigue, swelling, or unstable blood pressure, your snacks might be part of the story. And wait till I tell you about the next nut, creamy, salty, and so addictive. It feels safer than chips, but it's raising your blood pressure every single day. We'll get to that in a moment. Have you ever trusted something because everyone said it was healthy, only to find out it nearly broke your heart? That's exactly what happened to Eileen. She's 68. A sweet woman from Idaho. Lost her husband a few years back. One day, she watched a morning talk show where a young influencer raved about Brazil nuts, calling them the superfood of longevity. Eileen, like many seniors looking for a natural edge, started adding 2 to her breakfast daily. At first, she felt fine. But then came the fatigue. A strange metallic taste. Numbness in her fingers. Her blood pressure, once predictable, began to swing wildly. Her daughter noticed her speech was slowing. One trip to the ER later, the doctors were clear: selenium toxicity. Her levels were nearly 3 times the safe limit. What most people don't realize is that Brazil nuts, though marketed as heart-friendly, are dangerously high in selenium. Just one nut contains up to 90 micrograms, over 160% of the recommended daily intake. Seniors, especially those with sensitive kidneys or on blood pressure medications, are at greater risk. It wasn't just selenium. Eileen's potassium levels were also high. Her cardiologist explained that in aging bodies, even natural minerals can turn toxic when not monitored. The interaction with her diuretics almost caused an arrhythmia. And this isn't rare. The American Heart Association has repeatedly advised that seniors need precision nutrition. What's healthy for a 30-year-old may be harmful for a 70-year-old heart. I wish I'd known this before my heart attack. That's why I tell these stories, not to scare you, but to wake you up. If you're watching this and thinking, wait, I eat Brazil nuts too, leave a comment below with the word monitor. Let's not keep these conversations private. Let's make it normal to question the things that are labeled healthy. And hey, if this story resonates with you, hit the like button. It tells YouTube that more seniors need to hear this. Stay with me. The next nut on our list is not only safe, but might just be the best kept heart health secret for those over 60. You know, I used to think I was doing everything right. After my first heart scare, I swapped potato chips for trail mix, gave up bacon, and started eating a spoonful of flax seeds every morning. Heart food, they called it. But no one told me that mixing flax seeds with my daily aspirin could be like playing with fire. It started subtly. A bruise here, a light-headed spell there. I thought it was just old age creeping in. Until one morning, I stood up and blacked out cold in my kitchen. Turns out, I was bleeding internally. Slowly. Silently. My doctor, a brilliant cardiologist from Boston General, reviewed my labs. My INR levels were dangerously high. He looked me in the eye and asked, "Harold, are you eating anything with natural blood-thinning properties?" "Flax seeds," I said. "Just a spoonful with oatmeal." He nodded gravely. That tiny seed was amplifying the effects of my medication, pushing my blood too thin to clot. I was one fall away from a brain bleed. I was shocked. Flax seeds, the superfood, were quietly undoing all my careful steps toward heart health. And here's the kicker, according to a study published in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition, ALA, the compound in flax seeds can interact with common blood thinners like aspirin and warfarin, significantly increasing bleeding risk in adults over 65. Why don't we hear this on health food blogs? Why isn't it on the packaging? Because no one is looking out for folks like us. I was lucky. We caught it early. I replaced the flax with chia seeds, in tiny amounts, and rebalanced my meds. But it could have gone very differently. And that's why I'm telling you this. If you're over 60, every seed, every nut, isn't just a snack, it's chemistry. It either helps your heart or puts it in danger. So, I'm asking you right now, have you told your doctor everything you're eating? Are you sure your healthy habits aren't clashing with your medications? Let me know in the comments if you've ever had a surprise like this. It might help someone else. And stay with me, because in the next segment, we're talking about the most deceptive nut butter in America, the one I used to eat by the spoonful, thinking I was being healthy. Think you know which nut butters are good for your heart? I thought so too, until my heart said no. I used to start my mornings with a smile, and a spoonful of peanut butter. It was my comfort food. My healthy treat. High in protein, packed with good fats, it seemed perfect, especially for someone trying to keep their heart strong and blood sugar stable. But what if I told you that very habit was quietly damaging my arteries, pushing my blood pressure higher, and flooding my body with inflammation? Let me take you back. I was 70. I'd been on beta blockers and a low-sodium diet for 2 years. My numbers were decent. And every day after my morning walk, I'd reward myself with a slice of toast and a big spoonful of natural peanut butter. No sugar added. Just roasted peanuts and salt. Then came the bloating. Then fatigue. Then, one night, I woke up drenched in sweat. My heart is pounding. At the ER, my pressure had spiked to 180 out of 100. They ran tests. Nothing conclusive. Until a younger doctor asked me, "Mr. Bennett, do you eat peanut butter?" "Yes," I said. "Every morning." He nodded. A lot of older patients have sensitivity to lectins and omega-6 oils in peanuts. Over time, it creates a chronic inflammation loop. Especially dangerous if you're on heart meds. I was stunned. He showed me a 2020 study from the American Journal of Clinical Cardiology, linking high omega-6 intake to increased arterial stiffness and endothelial dysfunction, the early stages of heart disease. Peanut butter, even the natural kind, was working against me. I cut it cold turkey. Switched to almond butter, just 1 teaspoon a day, and only after meals. Within weeks, my bloating subsided, my sleep improved, and my pressure dropped back to 130/80. I'm not saying peanut butter is evil. But for seniors, with slower metabolism, medication use, and aging vascular systems, it's a ticking time bomb if overused. So I'll ask you now. Are you checking the ingredient list? Do you know how much omega-6 you're consuming daily? Have you ever tested cutting peanut butter for 30 days to see what happens? If not, maybe it's time. Comment below, PB30, if you're willing to try a 30-day peanut butter detox with me. I'll send you a free PDF with safer alternatives and daily heart-healthy swaps. Link in description. And don't miss the next segment, because I'll reveal the only 3 nuts I still eat today, how much, and why my doctor approved them. You might be wondering, after all these warnings, what's left? What nuts can seniors like us safely eat without risking heart disease, high blood pressure, or messing with our medications? I had the same question. So I worked with Dr. Samuels, my cardiologist at Boston General, and we came up with a simple rule: minimal inflammation, maximum nutrition. Based on that, I narrowed it down to just 3 nuts. But the story behind each of these 3 nuts? That's where the wisdom lies. Let me share what I've learned, not just from doctors, but from my own body over the years of trial and error, and some painful lessons. 1. Walnuts, not roasted. Not salted. Just plain, raw walnuts. Why? They're rich in omega-3s, particularly alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, which helps reduce arterial stiffness. A 2018 study in the Journal of the American Heart Association showed that seniors who ate just 4 walnuts a day for 6 months improved their vascular elasticity significantly. I remember switching to walnuts after cutting out peanuts. The first week, my digestion improved. I slept better. I no longer had that tight band feeling around my chest after meals. It was subtle, but real. Now, I eat mine in the evening, about 4 halves, with a glass of warm water. Never on an empty stomach. That's key. 2. Macadamia nuts, these surprised me. Though they're high in fat, they're mostly monounsaturated fats, the same kind found in olive oil. They don't spike inflammation the way omega-6 fats in peanuts do. A 2021 meta-analysis from Clinical Nutrition Espen found that macadamia consumption is associated with reduced C-reactive protein, CRP, levels, a key marker of inflammation. I eat just 3 to 5 macadamias a day. I use them as a snack between lunch and dinner. They keep me full without messing up my sugar, and they taste like a treat, which helps me stay away from processed snacks. 3. Pistachios, unsalted, shelled, this one's my treat nut. High in fiber, helps lower cholesterol, and they're low in oxalates, which is key if you have kidney concerns. But here's the trick: portion control. I keep 10 to 12 pistachios in a Ziploc bag each day. Once the bag's empty, I'm done. No refills. That discipline saved me from over-snacking. Now here's what's even more important than the nut itself: the context. I no longer eat nuts in isolation. No mindless snacking. No, I'm bored, handfuls. I pair them with meals. I track my reactions. I write down my pressure in the tracker you can download in the description. It's free. And every 2 weeks, I review my log with my doctor. This habit saved me. It gave me feedback. It gave me control. So if you've made it this far, tell me, what's one nut you eat daily? Comment below and share how it makes you feel. I reply to every comment. And if you want to download my Heart-Safe Nut Guide PDF, the link is in the description and pinned comment. Stick around, because in the next and final segment, I'll walk you through a simple 30-day nut challenge that helped me lower my pressure and improve sleep. You don't need to quit nuts, you just need to choose like your heart depends on it. Because it does. Let's talk about Everett. A kind man. Vietnam veteran. 74 years old. Lived in a quiet suburb in Illinois. He used to send me funny health memes on Messenger. But 3 months ago, he sent me something different. A blood pressure chart. His numbers were climbing. 155/98. 162/101. Spikes in the morning. Spikes at night. I asked him, Everett, what changed? He said, nothing. Still walking every day. Still on my meds. I just snack a little more since my wife passed. Snack. What kind? Salted cashews. From Costco. Big tub. I go through one every 2 weeks. There it was. Here's what folks don't realize, salted cashews, like many roasted nut snacks, often contain over 150 to 200 milligrams of sodium per handful. For someone over 60, that's enough to push daily intake way over safe limits, without even realizing it. According to the American Heart Association, excess sodium directly contributes to high blood pressure, stiffening of arteries, and increased stroke risk. It's not just the salt shaker. It's hidden salt. Like in cashews. I told Everett, gently, it's not the nuts. It's the coating. So we swapped. Roasted cashews, raw unsalted almonds. Still crunchy. Still tasty. But almost zero added sodium. And in just 4 weeks, Everett's BP dropped to 132/84. More energy. Fewer headaches. He even started walking longer routes again. Now here's the lesson, even a heart-healthy habit, when paired with the wrong preparation, becomes a silent threat. So if you're eating roasted salted nuts, thinking they're good for your heart, please, check the label. Sodium matters. Switch to raw. Or lightly dry roasted, unsalted. Tell me in the comments, what's in your snack jar right now? Let's compare and maybe swap some heart-friendly ideas. It's often not what we eat, but how it's prepared, that silently writes our health story. Stay with me. Let me ask you something straight from the heart. If you could make one small change today, just one that could reduce your blood pressure, improve your sleep, and even protect your heart, would you do it? That's what I asked myself 3 years ago, sitting in my cardiologist's office, feeling defeated. My medications weren't working like they used to. I was eating what I thought was healthy, but my numbers kept climbing. High blood pressure, cholesterol, and even irregular heartbeats. And then Dr. Samuel said something I'll never forget, Harold, it's not what you eat once in a while. It's what you eat every day. So I committed to something small, but consistent. A 30-day nut protocol. A structured plan, tracked and reviewed. It wasn't a miracle. It was a system. Here's what it looked like. Week 1, clean break. Cut out all nuts. Yes, all. For 7 days, I gave my body a reset. No almonds, peanut butter, or even trail mix. I used this time to track my baseline vitals. Week 2. Controlled re-entry. I added 4 raw walnuts in the evening. That's it. No salt. No sugar coating. I noted how I felt, energy, sleep, and pressure readings. And for the first time in months, I woke up with no morning stiffness. Week 3, snack swap. I replaced my usual afternoon crackers with 3 macadamia nuts. No more bloating. No crash at 4 p.m. I started sleeping through the night. Week 4, custom balance. I rotated, 4 walnuts in the evening, 5 pistachios in the morning, and macadamia nuts midday. I tracked my mood, blood pressure, sleep, and digestion. What I noticed was beyond numbers, it was how I felt. Clearer. Lighter. More in control. My blood pressure dropped from 145/92 to 128/84. My sleep improved by an hour. My heart rate became steady. And it wasn't just me. I shared the protocol in our Senior Healthy Stories Facebook group, and over 200 people tried it. 85% reported better energy. 60% reduced nighttime bathroom trips. Nearly half saw improved pressure. Now, I want you to try it. The full protocol, daily logs, checklists, tips, it's all in the free PDF guide in the description and pinned comment. You'll also find a link to join the 30-day Nut Challenge group, where we support each other, share meals, and celebrate wins. So here's my challenge to you, for the next 30 days, don't go on a diet. Don't try to be perfect. Just pick the right nuts, and listen to your body. Leave a comment saying, "I'm in," if you're joining the challenge. I'll personally reply and send encouragement. And don't miss the bonus at the end of the PDF, a 7-day, heart check tracker you can print, fill, and bring to your doctor. You've got this. One nut at a time. If you're still here, after 30 minutes of listening, learning, maybe even tearing up a bit, then I want to say something very simple but deeply honest. Thank you. Not just for watching, but for caring. You see, when I had my heart scare at 72, I didn't have this. I didn't have someone like me, sitting in a living room, talking, gently, but truthfully, about the little things that add up to life, or death. I wish I had. Because I might have avoided 3 years of confusion, 5 different blood pressure meds, and 1 terrible night where I thought I might not wake up. But maybe I went through it so you don't have to. Maybe this channel, this community, is my second chance. I'm not a doctor. I'm a former high school teacher who almost lost it all. But I listened. I learned. I turned my life around. And now, I'm turning toward you. So if any part of this story touched you, share it. With a son, a daughter, a neighbor, someone you love. And then leave a comment. Tell me one small change you're going to make this week. One shift. One habit. Because when we put those habits together, they become a life. A longer, stronger, clearer life. And remember, your body is the most honest friend you have. It's been whispering to you for years. All we're doing is finally listening. Now go to the pinned comment and download your heart tracker, join our Facebook group, and if you haven't yet, subscribe. Not for me. For you. We've still got stories to tell.